Thank you. That was a great segue. In front of us, we have Access to Abortion Care and Health Insurance Act, House Bill 937. And I really think it's important to really know what the bill does. So I've tried to break it down from what's in the bill. Number one, what does this bill do? It mandates insurance coverage of abortion care services without any deductible, co-insurance, co-payment, or any other cost-sharing requirement, and requires the taxpayer-funded Maryland Health Exchange to cover 100% of the cost of the premium for young adults who have a 0% expected contribution. I guess I just asked myself, how much will it cost that same mother who chooses life for her child? That's a question that the minority leader just asked. Also, we must provide information to consumers about abortion care. Coverage using the terminology abortion care to describe coverage. That's mandated in this bill. What exactly abortion has to do with abortion care? It's sort of an oxymoron to me. Certainly not care for the unborn baby. There's no mention of speaking about options available to the mother to support pregnancy or adoption or how to pay for either of those things. And hopefully that will come. Number two, it sets up a new program and fund called Abortion Care, again, care. I'm not sure how care happens with abortions with the fetus, or a baby, and clinical training program. Will train many other providers other than the currently required physicians. Currently in law, we require physicians to take care of this procedure. It also describes who will be authorized to provide abortions. I will not get into all the details, but many, many, many types of providers will now be able to provide abortions other than physicians. It allows a qualified provider to provide an abortion on a minor without notice to a parent or guardian of a minor with very broad discretions. It requires an annual appropriation of $3.5 million of taxpayer dollars every year to fund this program for the clinical training program. This is in addition to the Medicaid funding that we already have in the budget to pay for Medicaid abortions. We ask, how do we currently support pregnancy and delivery of a baby? Very costly, high co-pays and deductibles, many up to $5,000 and $6,000 for many of our constituents to have a child. I just had 2 new grandchildren in the last month. My one child paid $5,000 because that's his deductible, and my lucky Montgomery County school teacher daughter paid 0. Well, it's very difficult for the one that had to pay the $5,000, but we don't talk about that. A regular birth in a hospital costs around $20,000. How does the state of Maryland support a mother giving birth and choosing life for their child? Maryland is only one of 4 states forcing taxpayers to fund abortion. This is wrong. No public funding should be for abortions. I always ask, I'm famous for asking the question, what is the problem we're trying to solve? And we say it's access. We want to have access unfettered. There may be a problem if the Supreme Court changes. That'll be the next bill. I'm going to tell you that's not accurate. But Maryland is currently ranked 3rd in the nation for abortion access and availability. Abortion is legal and widely available up to 24 weeks in Maryland for any reason. After 24 weeks, the mental health reason kicks in. So, you say, why do we need this bill to expand even more access when we're already 3rd in the nation? Not a number I'm proud of at all. I'd rather be 3rd in the nation. I guess we're trying to be number 1, but that is certainly not a goal of mine. The crux of the 2 bills in front of us today regarding increasing unfettered access to abortion from conception to live birth and is how we're going to cast our vote on this today. That's what it's all about. And it's really about a fundamental foundational principle that we all need to remind ourselves of. I think most of us all believe that life is the center and soul of the moral truths upon which our nation's guiding light and philosophy has been founded. And it even strikes me more as I watch what's going on in the Ukraine, where immoral leader is slaughtering thousands of people. But in this country, life is important. The choices we make here in this chamber and where we prioritize the spending of taxpayers' hard-earned dollars indicates our morals and values, how we set our priorities. Maryland already has one of the highest rates of abortion in the country, and there is no lack or risk of access to abortion. I say it's not a statistic that we should be proud of.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In that light, I would urge the body to gently consider that even if you are not certain that logically then would give you the reason to at least abstain and not support this. Because therefore, if you're not sure, there's a possibility at least that exists under the rules of logic that you could be wrong to pass this bill. So it then mandates that you abstain, that you do not support this act. And I want to tell you, one of the things that stood out to me, not only in the consideration like I shared before, my own child, but the fact that this bill will become one of the first in the nation to mandate abortion training in our state with our tax dollars. And we all know that other than California, this is not something that's being done in America. And we all know that America does not support taxpayer-funded abortions or training for the same. There's over 80% of the people that say, no, if you're going to be a choice, don't force others who disagree with you to pay for it. That's the side of history that this body should stand with, because that's the side of truth. So I would urge a red vote for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam
Right.
Speaker. This bill is really about two choices: life or death. And I presented this a little bit to Ways and Means yesterday, and I think we all need a little perspective. And I'm going to repeat it again. Every single person sitting in this chamber right now, getting ready to make a decision on this, is an undeniable miracle. This is not me speaking morally. This is not spiritual. It is a scientific and mathematical fact. You are a miracle, a 1 in 400 trillion chance. That's just between your mother and your father. I know we throw around millions and billions and trillions around here, and sometimes it gets confusing. So I'm going to give you a little illustration of the difference. 1 million seconds ago was 13 days ago. 1 billion seconds ago was 31 years ago. 1 trillion seconds ago was 31,688 years ago. If you were to try to count to 400 trillion, it would take you 13 million years. So you being here, you have a purpose. You're a miracle. The odds of you being here, I don't think that sets in on people sometimes. You being exactly you is a miracle. 1 in 400 trillion is the same as winning the $100 million lottery 10 times in your lifetime. You would say that's impossible, and you're right. Everybody in here is an impossibility. And your life means something. You have purpose. And when we vote on bills like this to stomp out another miracle, we really have to weigh that heavy. I'm not trying to it's not my job to judge you, it really isn't. But if I can impress upon you how important your life is, and life in general is, think about it. Not only are you stomping out that life, you're stomping out future generations. And it's important, because everybody's got a purpose, and you have no idea what the purpose of that unborn child might be. That unborn child might be the one that changes the world forever. It may be the MLK Jr. It may be the Barack Obama, like was brought up the other day. So I want you to think about that. I don't want to get in the technical part of this. I don't want to get into the morality of it. Just think about how important every single life is, and the life that we're making a decision on can't make its own decision on bills like this. Thank you, Madam Speaker.